Hola travellers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're heading to one of Europe's most beloved and beautiful countries, Portugal, a nation of stunning coastlines, ancient history, world-class food, and warm-hearted people. From the faded grandeur of Lisbon's hilltop neighbourhoods to the wild cliffs of the Algarve and the lush green valleys of the Douro, Portugal is a country that gets into your heart and never quite leaves. So sit back, relax, and get ready to discover the top 10 places you absolutely must visit in Portugal. There's Évora. We begin our Portuguese journey in Évora, a beautifully preserved historic city in the heart of the Alentejo region. Évora's old town, surrounded by ancient Roman walls, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the best examples of a medieval Iberian city anywhere in Europe. At its heart stands the Roman Temple of Évora, a stunning set of Corinthian columns dating from the 1st or 2nd century AD that somehow still stand proud in the middle of the city. The Gothic cathedral is equally impressive, offering panoramic views from its rooftop terrace. For something truly extraordinary and a little macabre, visit the Chapel of Bones, where the walls are literally lined with the skulls and bones of over 5,000 monks. It's one of the most extraordinary sights in Portugal and one you absolutely won't forget. Évora is also the gateway to the Alentejo's rolling cork oak forests, ancient dolmens, and world-class wineries. 9. The Azores. Next we venture out into the Atlantic Ocean to the Azores, Portugal's extraordinary archipelago of 9 volcanic islands sitting roughly 1,500 kilometers west of Lisbon. The Azores are unlike anywhere else in Europe. Dramatic volcanic craters, hot springs, emerald lakes, whale watching, and lush hydrangea-lined roads that look more like something from New Zealand than southern Europe. São Miguel, the largest island, is the most visited. Its twin volcanic lakes of Sete Cidades, one blue and one green depending on your vantage point, are jaw-dropping. The village of Furnas has natural hot springs bubbling up from the earth and a lake where locals actually cook meals underground using geothermal heat. For outdoor adventurers, the Azores offer world-class diving, hiking, sea kayaking, and some of the best whale watching in the world. This is a destination that feels completely wild and unspoiled. Oitavo, Óbidos. At number 8 we visit Óbidos, a small medieval village perched behind intact 12th century walls in central Portugal. From a distance, Óbidos looks like a fairy tale illustration. Whitewashed houses with blue and yellow painted borders, a medieval castle, and all of it wrapped inside its ancient fortifications. You can walk the entire circuit of the walls, which offer wonderful views over the village's terracotta rooftops and the surrounding countryside. The main street, Rua Direita, is lined with charming shops, art galleries, and traditional ceramic stores. Óbidos is also famous for its local cherry liqueur, ginger, which is traditionally served in a little cup made of dark chocolate. It's utterly delicious. And every December, the village hosts an extraordinary medieval Christmas market that transforms it into something out of a period drama. 7. The Douro Valley. At number 7, we head north to the Douro Valley, one of the most spectacular wine regions in the world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Douro River winds for hundreds of kilometers through terraced hillsides covered in vineyards, their geometric patterns carved into the steep schist slopes, creating a landscape of breathtaking beauty. This is where port wine was born, and the valley is dotted with historic quintas, wine estates, where you can taste the full spectrum of Portuguese wines, from full-bodied reds to the legendary fortified port. The best way to experience the Douro is by boat. River cruises from Porto glide through some of the most beautiful scenery in Europe, especially in autumn when the vineyards turn gold and crimson. The town of Pinhão, with its azulejo tiled railway station, is a perfect base for exploring the valley. This is a place where you slow down, pour a glass, and let the views do the rest. 6. Coimbra. Coming in at number 6 is Coimbra, Portugal's great university city and former medieval capital. Perched on a hill above the Mondego River, Coimbra's old university, founded in 1290 and one of the oldest in the world, dominates the city. Its Baroque library, the Biblioteca Joanina, is one of the most beautiful libraries in the world. 3 gilded Rococo rooms housing 300,000 volumes, with bat colonies that emerge at night to protect the books from insects. The university's clock tower, the 12th century Se Velha Cathedral, and the winding alleys of the Alta neighbourhood are all worth exploring. Coimbra also has its own distinct style of fado music, more melancholic and academic than Lisbon's version, which you can hear performed by black-caped students in the city's bars and restaurants. Across the river, the beautifully preserved Roman ruins of Coimbriga are among the finest in the Iberian Peninsula. 5. The Algarve. At number 5, we head south to the Algarve, Portugal's sun-drenched coastal region and one of Europe's most popular holiday destinations. And with good reason. The Algarve's coastline is simply extraordinary, with golden limestone cliffs, hidden sea caves, dramatic rock arches, and dozens of beautiful beaches. Praia da Marinha is often voted one of the most beautiful beaches in Europe, its turquoise waters surrounded by extraordinary ochre and gold rock formations. The Ponta da Piedade Sea stacks near Lagos are another unmissable sight, best explored by kayak or boat tour, weaving through caves. Beyond the beach, the Algarve has a wonderful traditional side. The whitewashed hilltop village of Alte, the market town of Lulé, and the historic city of Faro are all well worth exploring. And the seafood here is outstanding. Don't leave without trying a cataplana of clams and chorizo. 4. Madeira. Number 4 takes us to Madeira, Portugal's extraordinary island in the Atlantic. Often called the Island of Eternal Spring for its lush tropical climate and year-round flowers. Madeira is dramatic, a volcanic island of soaring peaks, deep ravines, and a coastline of plunging black cliffs. The Levadas, a network of narrow irrigation channels built over centuries to carry water from the wet north of the island to the dry south, now serve as extraordinary walking paths through the island's interior. Walking along a levada through ancient laurel forest, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is one of the great hiking experiences in Europe. Funchal, the island's capital, is a delightful city with a beautiful old town, excellent restaurants, and the famous Blandy's Wine Lodge where you can sample Madeira wine. And if you're feeling brave, try the traditional wicker toboggan ride down the hillside from Monte. It's been thrilling tourists since the 1850s. 3. Sintra. At number 3 we have Sintra, one of the most magical and romantic places in all of Europe. Just 40 minutes from Lisbon, this hilltop town in the Serra da Sintra Hills is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and was once the summer retreat of Portuguese royalty and nobility. The landscape is extraordinary. Forested hills thick with exotic trees, draped in mist, with colourful palaces and mysterious follies emerging from the vegetation at every turn. The Pina Palace is the crown jewel, a fairy tale confection of turrets, battlements and vivid yellow and red stonework that looks like it belongs in a fairy story. The Moorish castle, the mysterious Quinta da Regaleira with its initiation wells and secret tunnels, and the beautiful Palace of Montserrat are all equally extraordinary. Sintra's village centre is charming, with excellent restaurants and a tradition of local pastries. The travesseiros and queijadas from the famous Periquita bakery are unmissable. Come early to avoid the crowds. This is one of Portugal's most visited sites, and it earns every visitor it gets. 2. Porto. Coming in at number 2 is Porto, a city that has taken the world by storm over the past decade, and it absolutely deserves the attention. Built on dramatic hillsides tumbling down to the Douro estuary, Porto is one of the most visually spectacular cities in Europe. The Old Town, the Ribeira district, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, its ancient buildings covered in faded azulejo tiles, laundry strung between balconies, and narrow stairways leading up through layers of city history. The Dom Luís I Bridge arches elegantly over the river, connecting Porto to Vila Nova de Gaia, home to the famous port wine lodges where you can taste and buy some of the world's finest fortified wines. São Bento railway station's entrance hall is covered in 20,000 azulejo tiles depicting scenes from Portuguese history, one of the most remarkable train stations in the world. And the food scene in Porto is extraordinary. Francesinha sandwiches, bifanas, bacalhau in every possible form, and pastel de nata that rival Lisbon's best. Porto is a city that dazzles every single visitor. 1. Lisbon. And at number 1, Lisbon, the gorgeous, sun-soaked, and endlessly charming capital of Portugal. Built across 7 hills above the river Tagus, Lisbon is one of Europe's oldest and most atmospheric cities with a unique blend of faded grandeur, creative energy, and maritime heritage. Start in Alfama, the ancient Moorish quarter, where narrow alleys wind between tiled houses and you can hear fado music drifting from the restaurants below. The São Jorge Castle sits at the top, offering panoramic views across the terracotta rooftops and the glittering Tagus. Ride the iconic yellow tram 28 through the hillside neighbourhoods. It's an experience that has become as symbolic of Lisbon as the Eiffel Tower is of Paris. The Jerónimos Monastery in Belém is one of the greatest examples of Manueline architecture in the world, an extraordinary fusion of Gothic and maritime motifs. And just steps away, the Pastel de Belém bakery has been producing the original pastel de nata, crispy custard tarts, using a secret recipe since 1837. They are quite simply one of the greatest things you will ever eat. Add in Lisbon's thriving restaurant and bar scene, its world-class museums, the buzzing LX factory creative hub, and that beautiful golden light that seems unique to this city, and you have a capital that earns its place at the very top of any European travel list. And there you have it, the top 10 places to visit in Portugal. Which would you visit first? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel inspiration. Until next time, até logo.